Let's see. I think we're going live. We're live. Okay. Okay. Welcome back to Wake the Nation. It's been a moment. We haven't been on for I think 2 months. Okay. Welcome back. Hold on. Hold on. It's been a moment. Sorry. Haven't been on for I think. Come back. Hold on. Hold on.
You got this 10-second delay thing going on.
Come back. Hold on. Hold on.
You got this 10-second delay thing going on.
Yeah. Okay. We're good now. Sorry about that, folks. A little technical difficulty, but we're good. So, as I said, welcome back to Wake the Nation. I know you're used to our other co-hosts, Kamali and Crystal, but we have because they're currently busy. We have Reverend Deacon Psychologist Love, Tahis Love. We have Jessica Dumet, who is a teacher, and she has so many other skills, but she'll introduce herself when she's introducing the person who she's going to be doing today. And as you know, my name is Florencia Chang-Ageda, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, Flo, F-L-O, Chang-Ageda. Today, we're doing a topic. We're combining last month's plus this month's theme, and that's trailblazing women, and also tying it in with mental health awareness month, which is the month of May. It's also seniors month, so there might be some seniors in there. We don't know, but let's see how it goes. But I want to start off with someone who I consider to be a trailblazer. And I consider her to be a trailblazer in the field of music. She started out singing at 5 years old, and she soloed at 11. And at 13, she decided that she wanted to become a professional singer. Now, she has a famous mother, a famous aunt, and a famous godmother as accomplished great singers. I'm sure many of you know who I'm talking about by now. She was a mezzo soprano. You know, this girl's range was like none other. Come on. She was a powerhouse, right? And she actually became the first artist to have 7 consecutive singles hit #1. I believe she might have had 10, but she sang I Will Always Love You, which was a remake of Dolly Parton's song. She her single, she did Bodyguard, and listen, she had a string of platinum, multi-platinum LPs. Oh, I know. Gen Z and Generation X know nothing about it. And that was maybe millennials and what's the other one that followed millennials would know. Those born in the 80s and 90s would probably know. The kids born in 2000 have no idea what I'm talking about. And I don't know what to liken it to for you, but know that that was one of her accomplishments, right? And she earned the diamond earning soundtrack to The Bodyguard. She was one of the first Black artists to find success on MTV, a 6-time Grammy winner, and she was inducted into the Hall of Fame posthumously, like 8 years after her tragic death. She was a mother, but unfortunately, she did not leave the legacy of a child because her child also died the following year. She was in movies, The Bodyguard, of which the song I Will Always Love You became one of the greatest hits of all time. She was in Waiting to Exhale, The Preacher's Wife, for which she won an Image Award for the Best Actress. And she was in Cinderella and some other things that she did. However, tragically, she died February, when was it again? 1980. I can't remember right offhand. Who remembers when she died, passed? Anyway, I'm talking about Whitney Houston. And we know and we hear the songs that she sings, her voice is like none other. Uh, Unfortunately, she passed tragically and all too soon. Now, why I'm saying this is bridging the gap between the two. We know that when things go wrong in your life, our circumstances under which we're born, or whether we live in the projects, that does not make us. She followed her dreams despite what was happening. Her father and her mother had a rocky relationship, and then her father ended up actually um, stealing her money, for lack of a better word. And so she had, anxieties. She had a lot of and she had anxiety. And, there are times when you're feeling mentally unwell. And when we're mentally unwell, meaning suffering from anxiety that becomes chronic or that is lasting too long, right? Or depression that takes you into a place where, you find yourself unable to come out by yourself. Um, you need to seek help, and there's you can just now dial 888 or text, I think, 888. And and then there are other counselors. We do have a resident counselor on here, and I'll let her give her number at the end of it, and I'll also add it to the which of Dunamis Sound Minds. And so, but if you know of a therapist, or if you know of, or you can dial the number, and of course I'll put all the numbers afterwards on the in the chat box. Uh, if you're feeling unwell, if you're feeling stuck, if you're overwhelmed, if your home situation isn't right, it happens to young people. There are many young people in relationships that they're being abused by their boyfriends or girlfriends, so if you're in an uncomfortable situation, seek help. If you feel like your mind is not in the right place, you can't focus, you can't think, seek help, because it is best to be optimally at the best, that you can. When our minds are well, and we take care of our bodies, we take care of, and we do things in right standing, right? And so with Whitney, she had great successes, great successes, but because she had certain issues and probably did not have a therapist or the right therapist, then she turned to drugs, and we see where that led. And unfortunately, it happens. She just so happened to be that her life, she led a public life, and it never took away from her her accomplishments. But unfortunately, all that like died with her in a way, because her daughter sadly followed in her footsteps and died pretty much the same way. And so I'm here to appeal to you. If you're not handling situations, get help, seek help. If you have a friend, a loved one, a spouse, a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, or someone you can confide in, it's always, you can speak to them and ask them to accompany you. We weren't born to do things alone, seriously. So we're here for each other. It says a brother loves in times of adversity. And so with that being said, I want to celebrate her, Whitney Houston. May her soul rest in peace. Her accomplishments, they were great. Unfortunately, she died tragically and she died young. She didn't get to become. I went to an event where we celebrated our seniors that are in their 90s and we had a centenarian. Not too many people get to um, get to that age, but we all have the chance to get there. So take care of yourself, get the help you need, and so that, and know that no matter what the circumstances, if you are living, if you think you don't have enough money, if you think you're not getting paid well, or you don't have the education to do what your heart desires, the dream that you have within you, the dream doesn't have to die. And just be patient and know that, excuse me, in when I say be patient, I don't mean to just lay back and do nothing, but what I mean is not give up on your dream. Do not lose hope. Keep the hope alive. Keep the dream alive by delving into whatever area of the thing that it is that you want to do. Whitney wanted to sing. She knew she could sing. She wanted to become a professional at that. And then she wanted to act. And so she followed that, followed through with that. So if there is something, if you want to be a chef, if you want to do hair, or you want to become a mechanic, or you want to do become an electrician, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female, because it doesn't matter the gender. You can go ahead and do what it is you want to do. But what you should do is, you can do, if you're a young person, you can intern, you can learn, if it's or take a course in whatever it is. So the dream, and there are free courses. Go to your library, read up on it. And then the internet, YouTube can teach you how to do anything. There was a lady who built her entire house for her, and I believe it was 5 or 6 children she had. She built it from the ground up. She got the plumbing passed and the electricity passed. And you know what she said? She studied everything on YouTube, and she did it meticulously, and she did it well, and the state passed it. Nothing is impossible. And today, her and her children are living in this beautiful home. And as a matter of fact, she built the house. Listen to why she built the house: because her husband divorced her after many years with these kids, left her. I forgot, the young one was either a toddler or a baby. I don't remember quite well now, because it was a while that I watched the documentary. But he left her impoverished. She had nothing. And so she had to stay with friends. And she realized she couldn't live with, having 5 children to add to someone else's household, that was a burden. And so she worked, got some money, bought some property, and decided to build on it. And she did it little by little and got it done. You're not, never put yourself to say that this is who I am. I'm a divorcee, or I'm a project child. No, aspire to become what God has placed within you, not the location or the place or space that you're in. So if that makes sense, right? Okay. With that, I am going to let Miss Jessica Demet introduce herself and talk about her person. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Dummett, and I am a early childhood educator. I am a child advocate. I am a mentor to adolescent and teenage girls. Um, and I'm also a florist by night. When all that's done, I'm also a florist. So yeah, shout out to YouTube University, because they have also, you can learn many of things on YouTube, as Florencia said. So yeah. The woman that I chose is from the Bible, and it's Esther. And I chose Esther. She was a trailblazer because of the courage that she stood up with to her husband to reveal her true identity as a Hebrew and speak up for her people which in fact, and with no fear of execution or anything, she like, stood up for her people and did what's right. And that bravery in return spared the Hebrew people of execution. And that was very trailblazing. We can see the efforts or the essence of Esther today in current day missions of women who are standing up and fighting for what's right. Let's say, Lima Bowie. She is a Liberian peace activist, and she, a number of years ago, got Christian women and Muslim women together to end a 14-year civil war in Liberia. Or Mahala, the girl from Iran, and she had, the Taliban had an assassination attempt on her, and they actually shot her at 15 years old for just speaking up what was right. And her plight was equal education for girls in Iran, in the Middle East. So the essence of Esther still lives, through this day, through these women, and that is extremely trailblazing. And I guess when I was going through these and tying this into mental health, it's just speaking up, not keeping stuff harbored in. It can eat you up. You know what I mean? And though it may not be to the greatest extent to, spare a nation of exile and execution, it keeping things inside. It doesn't do good for the mental health. It doesn't do good for the physical health. It doesn't do good for the spiritual health. Just holistically, just speaking up, whether it's getting out, whether it's saying it verbally, whether it's getting it down on a piece of paper, or having that tribe, having family, having a listening ear is very important. So building that community is also important. So just speaking up, speaking your truth, is extremely important, and it is extremely beneficial to the mental health and just health holistically. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now we have Reverend Deacon Elder Thais, psychologist Thais Love of Dunamis Sound Mind.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here once again. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing and just enlightening us on the trailblazing women that you chose, as well as your commentary on mental health. Thank you for celebrating the month of May as Mental Health coach practitioner. I like celebrating mental health awareness, and I look for every opportunity that I can to shed light on mental health and the importance of maintaining your mental health. The young lady that I will be sharing is someone that is she is very impactful in my life. Personally, she's one of my personal heroes, and she is a dancer, was a dancer, and she's a dancer for Alvin Ailey American Dance Company. She was one of the first women to direct the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. She is currently the director emerita for the Alvin Ailey American Dance Company. She began her dancing career with them at age 21, back in 1964, and she was born though in May 10th, 1943. Her name is Judith Jameson, and she really is an American treasure even to this day. She currently is an octogenarian and still very, very active in American dance culture and arts. Okay, just to share a little bit about some of the things that she's done. She was a trailblazer with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Company. The whole story behind Alvin Ailey American Dance Company is that dance company was a trailblazing dance company in and of itself. It was a African American dance company that featured pieces in modern ballet as well as contemporary dance art forms. And they're still around today. Maybe some of you have had the opportunity to go and watch a show, maybe around the Christmas time or what have you. But Judith Jamison is someone very, very one of the premier dancers. She's been dancing with Alvin Ailey she danced from age 21 all the way through to age 55. She's an octogenarian, you all. So, and she's still very active. Okay. But in those years that she danced, and she danced during the years of 1964 all the way through to well, yeah.
Hello.
2011, actually, came forth. Her very presence defied what the image was of a ballerina. As many of you might be familiar with ballerinas, they were, not very tall women. They were a very slight in body build, not a lot of muscle per se. They're very slight, small framed and very, just straight lines. That's one of the things about ballet as an art, as a dance art form, is the poses and moves that they do. It's all, aesthetically beautiful, but you look for the lines, the straight lines.
Right.
You position your body in such straight lines. And Judith Jamison, when she came on the scene, she transformed that whole image of what a ballerina looks like, being a very tall, stately African American woman, visibly African American. Okay. She was a dark complected. She is a dark complected sister, very chocolate complected sister. And when she moved and she glide with her tall, statuesque body, but clearly African in physique. So she had muscle. She had she was tall and statuesque, but she had muscle, she had curve. And so when she would glide across the dance floor, it looked a little different, but it was equally as beautiful.
Yes.
And so her lines in terms of ballet, modern dance, were different, but equally beautiful. And so you would see her with these long arms and long legs and tall, and chocolate. Um, I fell in love with her watching her on Channel 13, PBS. They used to have the Alvin Ailey American Dance Company perform on TV. And as a little girl, actually I was 9 years old. And I was watching her on a black and white TV. And back then, watching on a black and white TV, everyone looked either black or white. Those were the only two options. And so even people who were of African descent, back then, they would have lighter skinned people of African descent on the TV. So, I mean, you had to look a little harder to see their features, but you could see that they were still of African descent. But because they were lighter skin, complexion wise, everyone looked the same. In terms of, so everyone looked lighter or white. And so seeing her, she came on, I don't know, I was turning on the TV, and I like dancing. I always loved dancing. And I saw this, that the Channel 13 announced, oh, we're going to have a ballet piece from the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. I didn't know who Alvin Ailey was or didn't even care, but it held my attention long enough where I stood there and I watched this very tall chocolate woman dance. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And as I watched her dance, first, it hit me that she was a very chocolate complected woman. So on a black and white TV, her skin looked totally black, And so here she was, and she was dancing, and she had on this, I believe it was a pastel colored garment, but because it was a black and white TV, it looked like a white dance dress to me. And she glided across the floor, and she danced, and I'm there just flabbergasted. And to me, it was, oh, wow, she's dark just like me. And she's beautiful. And she's actually on TV. Because back then, because they didn't have many darker complected people on TV, as a darker skinned little girl, I understood that to mean that, oh, I wasn't pretty enough to be on TV, or I didn't have the right look to be on TV. And so when I saw this chocolate woman dancing across on TV, Channel 13, I knew, okay, if she can be on TV, I can too.
Yes.
And I decided I wanted to become a black ballerina just like her. And I went and told my parents I need a tutu and leotard, and I wanted to dress just like her. I wanted everything to be just like her, because I thought she was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen on TV at that time. And she continued on dancing and trailblazing, even in the areas of modern and contemporary dance. She has won a number of awards. I'll just call out a few, but she's a graduate of Fisk University, the University of Fine Arts and Dance. She got an award from BET, a Lifetime Achievement Award for American Culture. She was honored by the Kennedy Center for her contributions to American culture and arts. She got that award in 1999. She has an honorary doctorate from Brown University. The list goes on and on and on. But this woman, she sometimes talks about how when she started, the challenges that she faced, just to look at her, it was an issue back then, because she did not fit the profile of what a dancer was to look like, especially female. And she choreographed a number of pieces. In her pieces, though, she makes sure to depict women as strong and resilient. And to look at her, you could see where she gets that from. She is the epitome of strength and resilience as well as beauty. And so she danced from ages 21 to age 55 with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Company. She moved up from being a performer to the artistic director in 1988. And she is now the artistic director emeritus for the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. She is also a spokesperson, and she as an octogenarian, to look at her, you would not know that she was an octogenarian. She keeps herself in very, very good shape, and she goes all around the world speaking, teaching, and trying to encourage dancers of today and up and coming dancers to go ahead and follow your dreams and go as far as it will take you. And so I just want to say on a personal note that she not only inspired me, but she has inspired many, many others. And me personally, I didn't make it to become an Alvin Ailey dancer myself, but I still dance very much to this day because of her. And so I am a praise and worship dancer in liturgical dance, and I've studied modern, contemporary, as well as liturgical dance art forms. And I get to live my dream in becoming a Black ballerina. I didn't make it to Channel 13, but I get to do it for the Lord every Sunday, and I'm just really glad about it. And I just want to lift up Judith Jameson, a trailblazer, an innovator, an artist, a woman of beauty and strength. And so that's who I decided to pick and share with you all today. And on the note of mental health, when you look at Judith Jameson's life, she has had to overcome many, many challenges, and many challenges which could have caused her to quit, throw her hands up, walk away, and just, disappear. But she had the fortitude and the strength and the drive and the passion enough to continue on going to where she stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall today, an octogenarian, okay? Still inspiring young dancers. She's helped inspire not only me, but my son is currently a dancer for the Alvin Ailey American Dance Company. So like I said, I didn't get to go, but God made sure that my son gets to live out his dream as well as my dream. And so he is a male, a Black male ballet dancer. I don't know what they call them. It's not ballerina. I guess I don't know what it is, but he's a ballet dancer. Okay.
What did you say, Jess? What did you say? Oh,
but and we're just so proud of him that he gets to live out his dreams and also carry out part of my dream, and so I just want to lift up Judith Jameson, Trailblazer. And if you don't know her or haven't heard of her, look her up, and you will be
YouTube.
blessed. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Jesse, did you have something? Jessica, did you have
Oh,
something?
no. No, I was just enjoying her story and how it came full circle, how she gets to live through her son and her dream. And it made me think about when I danced as well as a child, and I went to Alvin Ailey camp. So it was a nice nostalgic road down memory lane going to Alvin Ailey camp. So yes.
There you go. There
And we
you go.
definitely learned about her in camp. So yes. Thank you.
And I did modern dance in college at a point, and so I too learned about her.
Mhm.
So there it is. We all have a link.
Is
So
there a dancer in the house? Come on.
Yeah, right.
dancers in the house. Yeah. So do you have any other advice for our youth, for the elderly, being they also say, don't you just love how everything is packed into certain months? So this month also, I believe one of the Kennedys had declared this month to be Seniors Month, but I forgot what the name is now. I think since 1963. So we know that we live in an ageist society, but I just want to encourage you, if you are a senior, if you are an octogenarian, what's the 70s called, a septuagenarian, a octogenarian, and I don't know what the 90s are called, but then a centenarian. But whatever stage of become of the aging society that you are, in my book, the shamelessly saying, no, I wasn't plugging the book, but it just came to me. In the book, in my book, for the days of trees soar we, I learned that trees, when they grow older, the older a tree gets, the more valuable it is. And there are certain cultures in which we are valued when you get older. The older you get, the more valued you are. You have sage advice. You're considered to be like, you have the oracles that speaks, and everyone listens. But unfortunately, in America, and I don't know, there are many seniors who others would like to put to the side, but take don't take faint heart. Know that you're valuable, you have worth. The things you've learned, what you've experienced over the years is valuable to share with the younger ones. And I do hope young people, if you have grandparents in your life or elderly folks, elderly uncles and aunties in your life, then pay heed, take heed to what they're saying. You know, I remembered when we had no electricity, when we had the blackout in New York. Who remembers that? Well,
I
maybe.
remember that.
Okay, so
I remember that.
okay, she's young, but it happened
Yeah.
during her time. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so there were a lot of people were stuck because they didn't know what to do. But see, for those of us who were taught by our grandparents, like me, I was taught by my grandmother, we knew what to do. And so we made it through. My son had a paper to do, and my mom had a manual typewriter. You don't see many of those
Wow.
today.
Yeah.
You don't use it with a, you know, you need the ribbon, all of that. And so he was able to do his work, and we used the encyclopedia, something. Still, I feel like there are a whole set of people out there saying, what is she talking about? But if you Google it, you'll see it. It's out there. The internet is great at keeping history alive, right? So you'll see the kind of machine. It's not a laptop, you know, as a typewriter, and he did. And he was the only one who turned in his work that was like well researched and everything. So, just want to say, you know, necessity is the mother of invention is something an idiom that I actually go by. But I just want to truly just encourage you, if you're young, to know that you are not your environment or circumstance. You may have been born in one or live in one or going through something, but you are, each and every one of us were designed with a purpose. And so there's a purpose inside of you. You have dreams that you'd like to be fulfilled, and it doesn't matter your age, it's never too late. And in today's society, as I love what Jessica said, YouTube, what was it again? YouTube University is out there too. And it's for free. You don't even have to
Right.
pay.
No debt
Which
with
is
YouTube
great.
University. Yes.
Right? It's really, really great. And yeah, she did some floral arrangements for me that she learned, and I'm like, oh my goodness, let me tell
Yeah.
you. So if you
And with that,
want a beautiful floral arrangement, she'll do it. Just give her time. I don't know if she wants to give an email address or something, so she's inundated with phone calls. But yeah, she really does beautiful. You know, you just
Thank
have to
you.
let her know what your color palette is that you'd like, you know, maybe for a birthday, Mother's Day, some kind of, you know, a gift that you'd like to give, just to show your love for the elderly, for the young, the youth. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Just let her know.
For
I'm telling
yourself,
you,
you deserve flowers too. Give to yourself, you know, to give
yes,
to yourself. That's a part of self-care and self-love. Give yourself some flowers, you know?
self-care. Thank you.
Self-care.
Talk about that, Jessica, because
Yes.
self-care is a part of mental health awareness, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. If
So
you don't
speak
take
about
care
that.
of if you don't take care, I'm a huge advocate of taking care of yourself, and that's not being selfish. If you cannot take care of yourself, if you are not well, you are no good to anybody else, and you cannot serve. And I know that from firsthand experience, you know, whether it's not getting enough sleep at night and then it's taken out on my babies and we're playing who can stay quiet the longest, and that's not fair, you know? So it's like, take care of yourself so you can better serve, you know, everybody else. And you know, and also to your point of just of being a florist, this is all new. So I will say to anyone out there that has a passion, that has a dream, that has anything that you do for yourself. I used to do this for myself. I just love flowers. I love doing it for myself, and just having the courage, as like Esther, to say, you know what, stand up. I have something good going on here. And you know what? I should share that to the world. Who knows who needs it? Who knows who needs your gifts? So you have to put it out there. Somebody needs what you have to offer. So don't be afraid to put it out there.
Thank you for that. I love that. What she
You're
said, and
welcome.
then some. And and then to see with Reverend Thais Love is that she had a dream when she was a little girl. She was actually discouraged, but look at what the Lord has done. And today she dances. You see her on YouTube. You'll see her on our Facebook page. The Dunamis, no, I think Thais Love or Dunamis Salman,
On Tice Love.
Thais Love.
Yeah, I put my dancing on, and the dancing is part of my self-care.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Mhm.
And
therapy as well. Tell them about she does
Yes.
it for schools and
yes, yes, I
Speak about
do.
that.
I teach a flag dance class, and dancing is a total body workout, as well as a great way to relieve stress.
Mhm.
So that's why I do it, and I teach it and help other people to, just get rid of some stress, let go of some stress or things that might be a burden to you. When you're dancing, um, you have to relax. So you have to let go of, some things in order to move and move fluidly. And so dancing has always been a passion of mine. And so I get to now infuse that with mental health and wellness as well. And get to help a lot of people and make them smile.
Yes.
And
Thank
so
you.
you don't have to be a trained dancer.
Yeah.
You can turn on whatever kind of music you like.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and turn
Like
on your
YouTube's
music
not paying me for this, but
and
Right.
just dance, and you'll find that dancing to some of your favorite music or what have you, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel better. I have dances that I do, when I'm not feeling happy, or I have what I call praise under protest, where I'm going through it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give God praise. I'm going to stomp on the enemy's head and release that thing, so it doesn't, I don't have to carry it around with me. So and you can do that too. Dance is a language as well, and so you can communicate all of that and express yourself as well. So in honor of Mental Health Month,
yeah.
yeah,
Dance.
just go ahead and turn on some music and shake and
Yes.
wiggle that whole thing out, and
Yeah.
and try it. Then you'll see that you will feel better, you will feel lighter, you will feel at least different.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can dance like nobody's watching.
True, true, true. I just came from a seniors banquet, and when I tell you, Dr. Uriel Fraser Trumpet, she was the speaker, and she certainly, I actually posted her entire thing on Facebook, actually. So the thing is, what was the music, the song that So Long Bye Bye, but before you sing that, the other part to it, let me tell you, seniors got up, and even seniors who were like having difficulty like walking or just sitting there, the joy on their faces, it really releases the stress, the fear, and the loneliness, the sadness, the whatever it is that one is going through. When you dance, you become fluid. You're releasing things, just letting go. It's a beautiful thing to dance. So as a person who loves dancing, so as I say, as there are, if you're a Christian, there are certainly praise dances there that you can dance to. There are all kinds of music, and even if you want to stretch, you can play the classics. I used to play the classics, Beethoven and all of those, and just you stretch and reach, and it releases, and it's great for your muscles. Seriously, it's because our muscles kind of will atrophy if we don't move. If we don't
Yes,
use them, they atrophy. They start to tighten up.
Mhm.
And so when
that's so true.
when we dance and move, and you don't have to do something that is hard pressed, that's going to be hard for your knees if you're having trouble with your knees, but just something fluid, even moving the top part of your body, and just, or swaying. And I see the Bible says, like the trees, they sway. We ought to sway. I just
Yes.
feel good swaying right now.
I I used to when I was a director of a senior center for many years. I used to even before that, actually, I used to have a dance fitness class, a line dance fitness class for seniors as well as for children. And many times some of the seniors would come in with their canes, with their walkers, even in wheelchairs. And they would come to class, come in tipping real slow, and laboring to get into class. And then when I put the music on, canes would go flying into the corner. Walkers would get pushed to the side. People would get out of their wheelchair. Sometimes they would dance with their wheelchair. And the seniors would dance. And I had a whole line dance troupe of seniors. They would get out there and do the electric slide, the wobble, the motorcycle slide, and a whole bunch of slides that
And
I
now they
taught them.
have the Jerusalem.
Right, yes, they do the Jerusalem now. And they would get out there and they would dance to the beat. My class was literally an hour. And
Wow,
these people who walked in with
they
walkers
endured.
and canes and came in wheelchairs, they were on that dance floor for a whole hour straight.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, not no aches and pains, and the smiles on their faces. I've even had a couple of seniors that came in with wheelchairs, and their doctors told them they didn't need the wheelchair any longer
Wow.
because of the dance. The doctors told them that is excellent therapy for you. Dancing promotes circulation.
Yes.
And it strengthens your bones, your joints, your muscles, and it it gives you a whole lift. And so
Clears your head mentally.
yes, that's another thing. Clears your head, and it makes you laugh.
Yeah. Because you're not thinking about, you're not holding on to the things that would like weigh you down anymore.
Right.
So
And
when we dance, we don't think about that. I
no,
remember I went to Virginia and I had sciatic pain, and I'm so serious. It was so painful. There was nothing I could sit on and not feel it. But they were playing the music, and I said, you know what? Pain is so intense. I'm just going to dance. Well, I tell you what, just dancing, it went away. I was able to get back in the car.
there it is.
Yeah. So
That's
that's a
right.
testimonial. So yeah. So we just in closing, I want to say, oh, by the way, Whitney Houston did not die in the 90s. She died February 11, 2012. So I'm correcting my faux pas. So please, and I just want to encourage you that once again, you can take walks, you know, and as part of your self-care, and or do floral arrangements or whatever it is you love to do. You know, no one's saying to do something that someone else wants to do, but something that you love to do. There are folks who love needlework. There are folks who love cooking. There are folks who love gardening, you know, whatever it is. And you may say, I live in an apartment building, I can't garden. Yes, you can. If you get those trays, you can have your little garden right there where you garden your herbs. You know, or a balcony or wherever it is.
Windowsill. Yeah.
Windowsills, yes. So
Mm.
there's a lot to do, and you know, just know that we're here for you. We want you to be well, and to know that just as all the people that we've shared with you, like Esther from the Bible, and Judith Jameson, who was a dancer, and Whitney Houston, who was a singer, you know, it may be your grandparent or your parent, or you know, someone you know, a teacher. We have trailblazers all around us. I had so many to choose from, but I just selected her. And so I just want you to know that no matter what it is you're going through, as Jessica said, and they'll summarize for themselves. But what struck out with me was she said, "Do not bottle it in." You know, don't bottle it in.
Yeah.
Find a way to release it. And dancing is one of those ways. If you could, and you know something, even if you are sitting and you can't, you know, let me tell you this quick thing. My neighbor, when we went to worship with her, and she had an aneurysm, she had a stroke. One side of her body was paralyzed, and she used one hand and she was clapping the other hand that was paralyzed. But you know, in just that movement, and because we were raising our hands and we were praising the Lord, she wanted to do that. And she did in the middle of all that. So moving works. Okay. Thank you,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Jessica, and then Reverend, whoever. You can close
Okay.
out, give your closing statements.
Oh, um, well, thank you for having me on this episode. This is a great conversation. And yeah, go for it. You have something to offer the world. Don't bottle it in. Um, have the tough conversations, even though they may be tough, as you know, as Esther did, but conversations are necessary, communication is necessary. And it's something that Reverend Love said weeks ago on one of the Zooms. And it was about, like, you know, you're like a ticking time bomb when you hold stuff in. It's tick, tick, and you know, you don't want to get to the boom. I've been using that ever since I heard it. I was like, don't let me get to the boom, okay? Let me just like detonate the bomb before you get to the boom. You know, so all the self-care, all the, you know, navigating through the tough times and tough conversations, it's necessary. It's hard, but you can get through it, but you don't want to get to the boom. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for remembering that. Yeah. Don't want to be tick, tick, boom. And I just like to say, yeah, let it out. We go through each day, you know, just experiencing things. Some things are pleasant, some things are not so pleasant. We tend to remember the not so pleasant things longer than we remember and hold on to the pleasant things. And because we hold on to the not so pleasant things, we keep it inside, it festers, and it begins to make us sick in our mind, make us sick in our bodies. So release the unpleasant stuff. Try to get rid of it as soon as possible. That way you have more room on the inside to hold on to the pleasant stuff. And let the pleasant stuff motivate you to do great things, you know, and improve the quality of your life. You know, you don't want to get to the tick, tick, boom part because we have a tendency as humans to experience negative things and then hold it in and don't say anything. You know, we put on our brave face, you know, oh, that didn't hurt. Oh, I didn't hear that. No, that didn't just happen. And we go into denial about it. we might go into denial about it in our conscious mind, but our unconscious mind is still holding on to that thing. And our bodies, we tuck it and store it in our bodies, and our bodies will continue to hold on to it until we ourselves tell our bodies, okay, it's time to let it go. And then we let it go. That's what stress is. Stress is unexpressed, undealt with emotions. That's all it is. And so it's repressed emotions, and those emotions will stay locked inside, quiet under lock and key until we take time out to release it. When you dance, or you can even laugh and release a whole lot of stress. You don't have to remember exactly what thing stressed you or when the stress thing happened. Just think, every time you dance, every time you just release, you can take in a deep breath. I just released a whole lot of stress just with that one deep breath right there. And so you can do that too. But whatever way you decide that you want to release, just release, let it go, so that you can empty out all of that negative stuff and have plenty of room to fully receive the wonderful moments in life, and hold on to those things and be inspired. Okay. And so thank you for once again allowing me to come and share on Wake the Nation. I love this program, and thank you to my lovely co-hosts upon today. And so release some stress, walk it out, dance it out, do something, laugh it out, breathe it out, but get it out. Don't hold on to it. Otherwise, you might become tick boom, and you don't want to be that.
Yeah, we don't. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Damet. Thank you, Thais Love. And this is Florencia Chang, and we're signing off for today, but we'll be back next month and with another exciting topic. All right. So have yourself a wonderful night and a wonderful week. Stay safe. Be good to yourself. Have a good mental health, and do self-care. Thank you.
And you can call me if you want,
Oh,
if you
yes.
need help with developing a self-care program for yourself. Okay. Self-care is not about being selfish. It's simply you prioritizing yourself, putting yourself at the top of the list for that day or for that particular time. That's all it is. And it is so much needed, because if you don't take time out to prioritize yourself, it doesn't have to be a long period of time. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour, but take the time out to do your self-care, prioritize yourself.
Yes.
It's great preventative medicine. And if you need help with that, feel free to call me, Thais Love at Dunamis Sound Mind Services. My telephone number is 718-576-8110. I'll be glad to talk to you about it and help you be a better you. Okay. You can also email me at dudamissoundmind@gmail.com. So I'll be waiting to hear from you and everything, and improve your life.
Yes.
Get rid of some of that stress.
And
Thank you.
thank you. And if you need some flowers, you can always messenger me for Jessica's information. Really, seriously, you can messenger me. You can reach out to us on Messenger for whatever you need. But we just want you to be well, and we want you to stay well, and so that we can be a productive society, growing well together, just like the trees. So stay safe, be well. Good night. Thank you, my co-hosts. Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.